Alpha is a savage. Major deaths are coming, and so is another spin-off of The Walking Dead. We're talking about all of that live tonight. I'm Brandon Davis. You're watching After the Dead. Hello there, Walking Dead Nation. I don't know, I just came up with that. Welcome to After the Dead. We do this every Sunday night. Janelle Wheeler is here, people. I am Brandon Davis. Please call me BD. That's what my friends call me. We like to start each episode of After the Dead. If you're new, with our reactions, we encourage you to share yours in the comments section live. We're reading them. What's up, Dale Wheeler? What's up, Amy Gravel? Daryl vs. Beta. Ooh, says Amy. All right, Janelle, what did you think of tonight's episode?
I loved it. This has actually been my favorite episode since we've come back from the break.
Ooh.
And Alpha is like everything. I love her so much. She might be winning my heart at favorite villain on The Walking Dead.
Wow.
Over the governor. I know, this is crazy.
Are you falling in love that fast?
I think I am. She's just amazing, and I already was biased because I love that actress.
Well, you liked Negan, but he killed Glenn, so he can never win that right from you. But also, the end of the episode, I thought really gave us a really cool vibe of like the season 1 camp crash with the zombies when Shane got back and everything. It was a great episode. But also, we had a really shocking death. Some people liked it, some people didn't. It wasn't like an important character,
right?
But it was just pretty violent. And when I know these things are coming, because I see the episodes first, I like to film people's reactions, Janelle. So let's just say Janelle reacted a certain way to that lady losing her head tonight. Check this out.
Yeah.
That was not a... Oh, God. Oh. Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
How was that a... Oh, my... How was that a fight? How was that a fight?
Well, that is Janelle's.
I'm sorry, Richard stole the show.
That was Richard Adams. He's in our control room right now. Big Walking Dead fan. He was shocked too. The first time I watched it, I was pretty shocked. But that was a good. That's like classic Walking Dead right there. It was violent. It was shocking. I mean, she wasn't a very important character. But
I was waiting. I'm like, what is she gonna do? Like, what? I saw her fiddling with her hand, Alpha, as she was kind of circling her. And I was like, I don't understand, like, because I don't know this world. I don't know the comics. I don't know Alpha. I don't know what is normal for her. And when she said, like, are you challenging me for power? I was like, oh my God, are they going to be like in a duel? Like, are they going to get weapons of choice?
It was
and, like,
Wakanda. It was
is
like
it going to be fair?
Is this your king?
It was not fair.
Alpha.
It was not fair.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't even give her a chance to fight. Like, that was the whole
sneaky.
thing. She said, yeah, we can fight. And then they didn't fight. She just murdered her.
Phew. So she's not your favorite villain, then? You hate her?
No, I love her. I love to hate her.
I'm just kidding. But we're gonna dissect the entire episode. But first, there is some big news in the world of The Walking Dead that we have to address. We should take a look at some of it. AMC says they are in active development on a second spin-off series, meaning there will be 3 The Walking Dead TV shows on TV. That's it. That's all they said. So the rest of it is all speculation. You're seeing the cast of Fear the Walking Dead from season 1 there. Only one of them remain. Here's an idea. Abraham Ford, maybe. We could see some Houston, Texas action. I'm down for that. The Governor. I know Janelle's a big fan of the Governor story, so we'll take a look at what that spinoff could look like. More Fear the Walking Dead. I mean, I love Daniel Sharman's Troy Otto.
Oh, he's
The
so
Walking Dead,
creepy.
The Alien is an offshoot comic book that was 1 issue. It took place in Barcelona. And then, of course, you have Georgie and Maggie,
Yeah,
and they could be their own spin-off series. So I want you guys in the comment section to drop your thoughts and what kind of sort of spin-off would you like to see? And I have one that I'm going to share. It's nothing from the show that we've seen, but Janelle, I'd like to hear also, like, I mean, from the options we just looked at and from your own thoughts. I mean, do you want this to be brand new, or do you want to see other characters pop in?
Pretty much anything that is a backstory for any of our like early characters. Obviously, everybody wants to see what happened before, you know, Michonne came upon the group. I would love to see like her life and how she kind of transitioned, especially after Judith's comment tonight, like calling her out, saying, "Well, you changed."
Yeah.
Well, I want to see that change. Like, I want to see like Michonne's journey from the beginning. That'd be awesome. I'm obsessed with the governor.
You will see that change soon.
Yes.
I promise that's coming to the show. There will be a little bit of Michonne. I don't know if you'd call it backstory, but whatever you'd call the time between.
Oh,
Rick
the time
leaving
jump?
and now. You'll see that very soon. I promise.
I would like to see her backstory too. Like, we know she had a son.
Yeah.
We know who her two walker buddies were on chains. Yeah.
I'm going to derail this for 1 second. There's a story in the comics where Michonne goes to the Commonwealth community and meets her daughter, who she thought was dead. I'm just saying, if Andre's still alive, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, she says Andre died. She wasn't like crazy like Morgan, but if she showed up at the Commonwealth and her son was there, that'd be pretty wild. I would love to see that.
Whoa.
But anyway, my idea, I would love to, like, you want to see the governor spinoff? I think that'd be great.
That would be amazing. I would love to see the governor.
We talked about that last week. Go rewatch.
But for anyone who didn't join us last episode, the governor has a really cool backstory where
really good.
He isn't who you think he is or who he says he is, and you get to see how he transitions into that person and like his relationship, what it really is to Penny. And that's kind of cool and crazy and awesome.
Big plot twist. It's really good.
Cool.
That would be, I mean, but that seems like it could be a movie. I don't see it as a series.
Okay.
I would like to see, like, just a story, like a city like, I mean, maybe New York, but like even like a city like Newark, New Jersey, where just you have, or just anywhere like it.
How about
suburb
Orlando, Florida?
No, we're not going to Florida. A suburb of Detroit or something. Like just somewhere where there's a diverse cast of characters. And you'd see the politics that would come into play when the world started to fall.
Right.
Because it was World War Z actually went to Newark, New Jersey. And they showed, it started in Philadelphia. It went to Newark, New Jersey. It showed grocery stores being looted. There's one scene where a cop is standing there and they're stealing stuff. And he looks at him like, oh, crap, am I going to go to, like, is this cop going to arrest me? And then he realizes, well, this cop is just doing what he needs to do to survive too. And then it moves on really quickly. I would love to see like the structure of people trying to survive in that environment.
Yeah.
You know, different people from different backgrounds and how they would all react given the way they were raised in these different cultures in different cities and just, you know, it would be interesting. It would be totally different from what we've seen in Georgia.
Dynamic,
exactly.
And we have like the kind of the city and beach, like close to the ocean.
Yeah.
With fear. You're right, that's a great point. And also just one more thing before this topic is closed. Glenn.
There is no more Glenn story.
I don't care.
He's dead. Here, in the Frozen.
No,
I'm gonna Frozen on it. Let it go.
The beginning of Glenn.
Let it go.
It would be so cool.
He was selling pizza.
It would be great to see how he turned from pizza delivery.
He was selling pizza.
Whatever. Let me know if you love Glenn in the chat.
Richard Jablonski, shout out at New Jersey in the house. Yeah, that's where I started. Now we're here. But back to tonight's episode, shall we? Let's talk about Alpha. I love what Samantha Morton is doing with this character. I think everyone else does too. I read the tweets, I read the comments. I'm loving the look we're getting at the Whisperers. This is much more detailed than what we got in the comics, so that's really fun. I think Angela Kang is making this all very interesting. This whole episode was kind of really set off when Alpha cut that woman's head off, as you saw Janelle's reaction just a few minutes ago. But really, her motives are just barbaric. So before we talk about how this absolutely teased some major deaths from the comics, which some people already know what I'm talking about. If you don't worry. We'll talk about it in just a second. Spoiler alert. But let me ask you this, comment section. Let me ask you this, Janelle. Do you think Alpha went back to the hilltop to get her daughter Lydia because she cared about her daughter, or was it actually the strategic play that she said it was when defending her position as Alpha?
I would say both. It might have started as a mission to retrieve her daughter, but turned into learning more about this community. I don't know why she wants to attack the community. I mean, she went in there with like just saying, I'm not here to disrupt anything. I just want my kid. But now we're kind of learning that she does have a vendetta to anyone who's doing trade, I guess. Didn't she ask specifically Beta if they're doing, if...
She asked Lydia, are they trading? I think that might have been just a play to find out if there are other communities that they're working with and how formidable a foe they might be. And Lydia lied because she knows the kingdom exists and she knows Michonne left to go somewhere else.
Yes.
She lied. So I think it was straight strategy. I
Yeah.
don't think she cares about her daughter. I really don't. I think it was straight strategy. She maybe has as much of an attachment to her daughter as an animal would, because she continuously compares the Whisperers to animals.
Well, that's literally, I wrote that in my notes. I was like, I think she takes a lot of joy in seeing Lydia's struggle, and I think she has like a fascination, like an obsession with like watching her like suffer.
Yeah.
It's like her fun times.
Well, I just think she has like an instinctual, inner just to protect her. But
Yeah.
in the end, she knows I'm going to do what is
Yeah.
best for the pack, not for her. Because I
Right.
think we saw that at the end of the episode when she told Lydia, kill Henry, and if you don't, he'll kill you both.
Yeah.
And if she bluffed like that in front of all of her people, that's not going to be a good look. So I think
True.
she really would have let Beta kill Lydia.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so I think it was just an information play. I don't think she cares about Lydia, which makes her that much more psychotic.
Savage, yeah.
She's a great villain. I mean, when they brought Negan onto the show, they just kind of made him cartoonish. And I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I think he's a fantastic actor. I think they tried to really do a direct adaptation of the comics.
Yes.
Which didn't translate. It never really, it has
We
translated
didn't have
at
enough
times.
time with him.
No, you don't. And so with this one, we're getting we're understanding the villain. And we're and Angela Kang is taking a few liberties, but really following the comics. And I do love Negan, but I think Alpha is really becoming one of the show's best villains. I mean, governor level, really,
Oh, yeah.
if you think about it. But Daryl did totally bail Henry out of that situation I mentioned a second ago. He was either going to Henry was either going to get killed by Lydia or Beta, which was just another awesome moment in tonight's episode. It was really tense there. But it did come after one other, maybe you could call it awesome moment. Naked zombie. Really, there was a naked zombie on tonight's episode. Did you catch a load of those warlocks? Oh my gosh, I don't know. Can we even show this? I don't know. It's a zombie. Zombie boobs. Like, really, that's a thing. They did it on TV. So if it was on TV, it could be on Facebook. The Walking Dead really, literally, just let it all hang out tonight. What do you think she was doing at the start of the apocalypse?
The only thing I could think of was like maybe sunbathing. She doesn't like those tan lines. Prom was coming up.
You Florida people. This is why we're not going to Florida.
It'd be great. There'd just be topless walkers everywhere. P.S.
Did you
Floridians
see
don't
what that
walk
looked like?
around
I don't
without
want to see that
shirts.
ever again. I don't want to see that. Ooh, ew. But anyway, back to the more important matters than the naked zombies. Since we did have people getting their heads cut off, I think this would be a cool time to talk about these pikes from issue number 145. Obviously, everybody is very familiar with the comic book pikes. If you're not, here's the skinny of it. The Whisperers kidnapped several characters. They put their heads on pikes to mark their territory. They killed Rosita, Ezekiel, Tammy Earl, and some others, like a dozen people, as a means to mark their territory. So leave yours in the comment section. I'll read a few of them. Janelle, who do you think will end up on the pikes?
Well, I haven't read the comics, and I really don't want to see Rosita on a pike because we do know she is carrying.
Ooh, she was carrying in the comics.
Okay, that's awful.
She was pregnant when she died in the comics with Sadiq's baby.
Oh, God.
So that's but we didn't find out it was Sadiq's baby until after she died.
Oh, yeah, and then that was that, like, tragic moment. Oh, okay, yes, you were telling me about this.
But so you don't want Rosita. Who do you think will be there?
I don't want Rosita.
If it happens this season.
I was thinking maybe Lydia and Henry together.
Oh, you think they'd
like,
kill Lydia?
Next to each other,
Oof.
just to, like, make a point. Or maybe because she's so angry with her. I don't know, just an idea. Also, I hate to say this, but maybe Sadiq. Because then maybe it will be easier for
Little
Rosita.
switcheroo on the Rosita Sadiq.
Well, maybe it'd be easier for her to continue on with Gabe if Sadiq is out of the picture.
We're going to talk about that whole love quadrangle in a second. I think either Sadiq or Enid have to be there because you can only have one doctor on this show. It's a rule.
No.
You know, I don't know why, but that seems to be the rule on this show. Henry's totally going. Henry is like a plot device, and he's being used as a formula for this
Henry's
whole thing.
messing up.
But I don't see how his story could go much further than this. So, I mean, Carl's story did in the comics, and he's obviously adapting some of that, but I think Henry's going.
Yeah.
And I think you need a big one, and I don't think there's any big characters the show can really afford to lose anymore. So, I mean, that leaves somebody like Tara. Ezekiel in the comics, but I just feel like people are really, I think Ezekiel is kind of divisive among the fans. People love him or they hate him.
But we need that leadership at the Kingdom. I mean, they're really, I guess Carol is the only one that can step into it.
If Carol loses someone else right now, that's just going to be tough.
God.
She's so strong, but it'd be tough. I think Tara is probably a good one to pick, and either Enid or Sadiq. Henry seems like and I think Tammy and Earl will be there because they're not key players, and that would be the truest scenario to the comics I think they could get away with right now. They've kind of built them up this season. But anyway, let me know who you think will be on the Pikes in the comment section. But let's move on. Tonight's scene with Negan and Michonne in the jail cell. That was also straight out of the comics, speaking of the comics. So we do here at Comicbook.com. But it was kind of a combination of two different story points from the books. In issue number 141, Negan and Rick have a conversation about their trust when Negan's jail cell was left open. Rick doesn't buy into any of it. Negan didn't leave in that instance. He stayed put. And then in a later issue, Rick is losing the support of Alexandrians as a result of the Whisperer threat because they had that whole Pikes thing. So this is further down the line. And Negan suggests letting him help lead the people because Negan knows how to capitalize on people being afraid. And Rick never did that. He wasn't a fearmonger leader. He just kind of fell into being a leader because he's a good dude. Was a good dude. Who knows where he is now? 6 years later, is he still alive? But we kind of saw both of those in tonight's episode, those storylines. So it kind of makes me wonder, like, will we see the second one where Negan ends up actually playing a part? Because Rick starts to listen to him, and it's great that it works. Yeah. The difference is that Michonne isn't really in such a corner like Rick was in the comics. So I want to leave this one for the comment section, as I like to do. But would you trust Negan if you're Michonne or anyone in Alexandria? Because he could possibly be a useful guy.
I'm conflicted as a viewer and then putting myself in Michonne's shoes. As a viewer, more Negan, please. I want more Negan. I love his character. I think he's kind of like some comic relief. He's attractive to look at. I didn't say that, I swear.
Okay.
He's just great. I love Negan. I love his energy. I like who he's become. I love his relationship to Judith. I think he has a lot to offer our community. But if I was Michonne, there's no way. I would never forgive him. I would never forgive him. And I even wrote in my notes, I was like, if I was her, I would never trust him. And he would have already been dead because I would have let Maggie kill him.
A lot of comments about Negan in the comment section, but I'm seeing a lot of people saying, just don't kill dog. Lisa says, don't kill the dog. Don't kill dog. Deborah says, I set Negan free. A lot of people saying they trust Negan. Negan knows how to use people, says Deanna Thompson. Very true. I mean, that's how he built his savior leadership. I can trust him. He learned and is going to become great. Michael A. Shipsky, make Negan great again, apparently. And Negan can be bad to be good. Deborah, I think there's a typo in there. I tried. Look, I think you need to try. You don't need. Actually, they don't. They're not at a point where they need Negan. In the comics, it was a point where they really didn't have much of a choice. So they really did have to trust him and use his advice because it made sense. It was logical, and Rick needed to get the people back on his side, and he knew he couldn't just go to war with the Whisperers.
And David asked who kills Alpha, and in the comics,
it's Negan.
It is Negan.
So okay, so spoiler alert, and I don't know if this is coming to the show. It always can. But Negan breaks out of his jail cell later in the comics, and he goes and joins the Whisperers and trains to become one and does all this crazy stuff. And it seems like he's fallen in love with Alpha, and it's kind of a parallel because at the same time they were publishing this, they published the Here's Negan story where his wife lost a battle to cancer, but we only saw her when she had no hair. So we thought maybe he saw some kind of parallel there, and he ended up cutting her head off and delivering it to Rick. And saying like, hey, here's a trophy of my trust. So in the comics, he goes, well, he's trustworthy. Maybe that wasn't a good move because a war started. But
Frank thinks that Jerry got too much airtime and his story is done. He's going to be on the Pike.
Ooh, Jerry on the Pike. I'd be devastated. That'd be classic Walking Dead. Build him up, give him a baby, cut their head off.
Oh, no.
All right, I like that comment, man. And one more thing before we start answering. We're just going to answer your questions in just a few minutes here in our live After the Dead comment section. So start dropping them in. We will answer as many as we can. It's not all that bad in the apocalypse if you're Rosita. The woman has everybody in Alexandria just in love with her. I mean, she's a good-looking girl, but everyone's in love with her. My goodness. Former soldier. She's got it going on. She told Father Gabriel the truth about the baby. They had a weird little moment with baby Daddy Sadiq. And Eugene is madly in love with her, but he's just kind of creepily watching from afar, and he just really wants to help with that baby, so he made a little stat sheet. So that was a thing. So if Rosita is going to choose a man, and I know she doesn't have to, I know just before anybody comes in with that take, who do you think should be Rosita's man and maybe help raise the baby?
I mean, I think Sadiq should raise his own child. I think that I'm buying that relationship more. I'm still having a hard time believing that Rosita and Gabe are a thing. Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Give my man Gabe put some respect on his name, all right?
I bought the Jade thing, the Jadis thing, more than Rosita. I guess anyone could be attracted to Rosita because she's fire. Like, she's beautiful. But I just don't see that relationship. Like, the age difference seems off. Like, the backgrounds just seem completely different. I don't know. I'm just still not. I'm all about Sadiq and Rosita. I think they're a cute little couple, and I like them.
Deanna Thompson in the comment section. I'm with you, Deanna. I think she should be with Eugene. I think Sadiq was just kind of messing around, didn't mean to get her preggers. Gabriel is already having second thoughts, and Eugene is just like, I got everything you need. I have done every equation. I've figured it all out. I want to raise that baby for you. And he's not asking to raise the baby. He's just hoping that whoever does a good job because he's genuinely interested in Rosita's best interest. And then I saw another comment, somebody referencing the comments here. Melinda, Rosita's not going to make it long enough to have a man.
Oh, no.
Woo! That's dark.
Brutal.
That's dark. Michelle Pryor. This one's going to piss off something. The Carolers. Totally shipping Connie and Daryl. It's an interesting thought there.
I've actually been hearing that a lot. I really have. From
Connie and Daryl.
From fans. Yeah. Like, people have been telling me personally, like they're going to get together.
That would be.
Or they want to see them together. I don't know.
It's crazy how interesting the new characters of Magna Connie, Kelly, Yumiko, and Luke are. In the comics, they never got much time. But the show needs interesting characters because they've lost so many people that the comics didn't lose. And these 5 characters are really, like, when they're on the screen, I'm far more interested than when Henry's on the screen.
They did that in such a short amount of time, too. They, like, maybe it was just brilliant acting, great writing, whatever it is, keep doing it because I'm falling in love with these new characters, and I need that. I need to be hooked back in and interested in these new characters because I've lost all my favorites.
Daryl doesn't need a woman. He's got dogs, says Deanna. All right. Well, we're going to answer a few questions for you guys live right now. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. We'll get to as many as we can. Janelle's got the comment section up. I'm trying to read them.
Well, really quickly, this is so funny. Peg said, I thought Daryl was going to be gay.
People say that all the time. Just because the guy isn't out there
But we did lose the Aaron and Jesus storyline.
That's true.
So, I don't know.
I think Daryl's just asexual.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever
everyone's big brother.
And little brother.
And little brother at the same time. Yeah, that's great.
I don't know. I have, that is such a popular, I don't know if it's
really
popular,
is.
It's common that people think Daryl might end up being gay. We have no real reason to believe either way. I mean, he's kind of flirted with Carol in the past, and I don't know if he was flirting with
Beth,
Aaron.
Beth?
Yeah, you had the Beth, the Still episode in season 5. I don't know. She was kind of young. That's just, I'm just going to rule that out. But, no, I don't.
I mean, honestly.
Who do you think Daryl should end up with? I'll put that your way too. So drop your questions in, but also if you want to see Daryl end up with somebody, male or female, it's 2019. Love who you love. Drop that in the comment section.
So we had both Roland and Robbie both say, "Where in the bleep is Rick?"
Where in the bleep is Rick? Listen, he got in a helicopter. I don't know what to tell you. I do know what to tell you, but I'm not going to tell you.
Are there any hints? Is there anything we should be looking out for that indicate? Are there any Easter eggs or anything that could just give us a taste of what's to come with Rick?
I think Fear the Walking Dead season 5 might show people something. I'm not. It's tricky. Fear the Walking Dead might. You'll probably want to watch. Rick, like I said this before, and I saw other YouTube videos end up recording this show and talking about it and speculating.
What?
So I got to be careful. But Rick is not going to be in season 5 of Fear the Walking Dead, as far as I know. But there are elements of Fear the Walking Dead which will be interestingly, possibly connected and making the world a little bit smaller.
Okay.
I think that's what I said last time, and I'm sticking to it.
Honestly, I'll take anything. David's asking, will Negan find Lucille?
Will Negan find Lucille? That's in the comics. He does find Lucille, but it never was this big of a mystery. Dwight was keeping Lucille at one point, and Dwight now is going to Fear the Walking Dead. So I don't know if he took her with him, but that'd be weird if he did, because he kind of hates everything about Negan.
That's really interesting because Frank, that was the next question I was going to say. Frank said, does Dwight have Lucille in the Fear crossover?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know, but I don't think so. If Lucille dies, the Bat dies in the comics. He gets in a fight with Beta, and Beta's like such a big dude that the Bat cracks, and then he digs a grave and buries Lucille and actually apologizes to his wife for being so stupid and naming a bat after her, which was a good scene in the comics. Negan in the comics is so great. His redemption arc, I think, is Robert Kirkman's best writing. The Whisperer arc is nowhere near as interesting in the books as it is on TV right now.
Okay.
And the Negan arc, the war, was more interesting in the books than it was on TV. And I really hope they get the redemption arc to be as just make it equal, because they flipped the script on the war and the Whisperers so far. I hope they just keep the Negan redemption story as great as it is in the comics if it comes to TV.
Gosh, I hope so. I really want to see that. Janet is asking briefly, when does Fear come back on? For anyone who maybe hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah, so Fear is most likely going to come back in April for season 5. I really think that would be a terrible idea, because Game of Thrones is airing its final season starting in April. So I just don't think Fear the Walking Dead has a chance of getting any buzz if it's airing at the exact same time as the final episodes of Game of Thrones. If I was AMC, I'm straight up moving that show to Monday. I mean, and I think most people would agree. Fear the Walking Dead is not going to beat... The core audience might watch it, but if you're watching one or the other, you're going to watch Game of Thrones, because people are going to be talking about that the next day on Facebook, at work, at school. And Fear the Walking Dead, you can get away with watching the next day. So I think it would be smart to not compete with Game of Thrones. But as far as I know, Fear the Walking Dead Season 5 should be back in April, unless they just want to wait and then have a smaller gap in between the season, a smaller mid-season break over the summer.
So it hasn't been announced. And if you haven't watched Fear, I'm sure, are all the episodes available on... I know that... Is it Netflix that has like the earlier episodes?
Hulu has the previous seasons. I'm not sure. Actually, I want to, in our control room, Brittany's in the control room, she's going to kill me for this. Brittany, can you run out there and grab my desk and come in real quick and hand me the Fear the Walking Dead Season 4 Blu-ray? Because I want to show people something really cool.
You deserve this
I
moment.
saw her. She grimaced at me from the control room just now. Thank you, Brittany. You're the best.
We love you.
But speaking of Fear the Walking Dead, I have to show that off because I'm really proud of it. But yes, April should be Fear the Walking Dead. Let's do one more question.
Peg
I'll show
is
this thing
asking,
off.
why has it got to be the same Lucille? Just find a bat and put barbed wire on it.
We got it.
Nice catch.
Nice toss. Thanks, Brittany. Hold on. Okay. Richard, in the control room, can you zoom in? I don't know how far you can zoom in, but this is the Fear the Walking Dead Season 4 Blu-ray. And on the back, right there, that says Absolute Must-Watch Television. Brandon Davis, Comicbook.com. That's right. I'm immortal. I'm immortalized on the DVD box.
So you're watching the right show right now, ladies and gents. An expert on the actual Bluray.
That's right.
Giving his
Season
opinions.
5. I really loved the first half of Season 4. I think Season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead was possibly the best single season of either show. I thought it was just brilliant. I loved the first half of Season 4. I thought the back half maybe got a little misdirected and lost its way a little bit, but I didn't think it was bad. I think it didn't match Season 3 in the beginning of Season 4. But I do. If you haven't watched Season 3 and 4 of Fear, I suggest it, and I suggest checking out 5 for the reasons I just mentioned.
Since we're already talking about Fear, when will Fear and The Walking Dead merge?
I think it's inevitable.
Really?
I think we're about 3 years away at most. I think with the movies coming, I think we maybe get up to Season 12 of The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead Season 5, maybe 6, and I think eventually we start to see it all kind of come together into one just Avengers Infinity War Walking Dead series. I'm guessing there.
I love that.
But I think it's inevitable because as these shows start to reach their end point, I think it's all going to connect, and we're going to have to get a satisfying ending, not just for each show, but for the universe as a whole. So it's all going to have to be,
love, intermingled.
Call the Russo brothers, have them direct it.
Michelle has a great question.
All right, Michelle.
Why do they want to have a fair when it's so hard to travel safely?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Just wait. The fair is coming. The fair will happen this season. So
that there can be a really creepy and cool episode.
Yeah, because we just need bad things to happen
during a fair.
But do we have one more question before we wrap up? Or
oh gosh. maybe not a question, but a really good point.
Okay.
Deborah would love to see a spinoff with Daryl.
A Daryl Dixon spinoff?
Or backstory.
The Dixon brothers?
Whichever. Oh my gosh, the Dixon brothers.
I don't think Michael Rooker has aged since he left the show.
I just got goosebumps.
The thing is, Daryl had short hair at the beginning.
So what?
So
He'll cut it off.
But then if you have Daryl in
We'll
the
put
present...
a wig. We will figure it out.
Wow.
More
I
Daryl,
want
right?
the Daryl show. My
Heck,
goodness.
yeah. And Andrew says, can we get
I'm
a Merle
free.
story?
I'll have a show.
Hey, people are saying, listen, I'm down too. Can we just take
Let's make
over
our
the
own.
Costco?
We'll start a web series.
We can go to Jersey and Florida. It'll be great.
I'm not going to Florida. You just told me that there's topless zombies in Florida, and it's not even the apocalypse. My goodness. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave your thoughts on today's After the Dead show. What kind of stuff do you want to see us do on After the Dead? What do you want us to talk about? Leave your thoughts in the comment section so that when we do come back on Sunday nights, we can cater to your interests and make sure you're having a good time watching. I really appreciate y'all checking out After the Dead every Sunday night, sharing our Comic Book Now Facebook page with your friends and liking it so you get notified when we're live. We'll be back. We will be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time for Comic Book Now, right here on this Comic Book Now Facebook page. This is Janelle Wheeler, at Janelle Wheeler on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, all the things. And I am at Brandon Davis BD. Please hit me up anytime and use hashtag After the Dead to be featured on our next show. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. See you later.